Your phone is ringing right now. Unknown number, no caller ID. Just 10 digits you don't recognize. Are you answering it? Of course not. You're staring at it like it's a bomb. You're Googling the number to see if it's spam. You're waiting for them to leave a voicemail, which they won't because if it's important, they'll text. Congratulations, you've been trained to ignore your own phone. 20 years ago, this would have been insane. The phone rings. You answer it. That was the deal. It might be anyone, a friend, a job opportunity, someone with important news. You didn't screen calls, you just picked up. Now, an unknown number might as well be a threat. Nobody answers. We've all collectively agreed that phone calls from numbers we don't recognize are guilty until proven innocent. So how did we get here? That's what this channel breaks down. Hit subscribe. How did answering your phone go from normal behavior to something only your parents still do? Let's go back to the 1990s and early 2000s. Your phone rang, you answered. Simple. Caller ID existed, but it was a premium feature. You paid extra for it. Most people didn't have it. So every call was a mystery. Could be your friend. Could be a telemarketer. You answered and found out. Telemarketers were annoying, sure, but they were manageable. You'd get a few calls a week. We're calling about your car's extended warranty. Wait, that's too modern. Back then it was vinyl siding or long distance plans. You'd say, not interested, hang up, and move on with your life. Annoying, but not life-ruining. Then the Do Not Call registry launched in 2003. It was supposed to fix everything. Add your number to a list, and telemarketers couldn't legally call you anymore. And it worked! For about 5 minutes. Because here's what happened. Legitimate telemarketers followed the rules. Scammers didn't care about the rules. They weren't even in the country half the time. So the Do Not Call registry accidentally filtered out the annoying but legal calls and left only the scam calls. You made the problem worse by trying to fix it. Technology evolved and scammers evolved faster. VoIP calling became cheap and easy. You could spoof any phone number you wanted. So scammers started making their calls look local. Same area code as you. Sometimes the first 6 digits matched yours. It looked like a neighbor calling. You'd answer because it seemed legitimate. And it was a robot. Or a scammer. Or a robocaller for a scam. The holy trinity of phone garbage. The volume exploded in the 2010s. What used to be a few calls a week became a few calls a day. Then multiple calls per day. By 2019, Americans were getting 26 spam calls per month on average. Some people got way more. Your phone became unusable for its primary function because it was buried in spam. And if you've ever let a call go to voicemail only to get a robotic message about your car's extended warranty that you never had, hit that like button. The algorithm needs to know people are fed up with being robocalled into oblivion. The smartphone made it worse and better simultaneously. Caller ID became standard. Every iPhone and Android shows you the number. You can Google it instantly. There are apps that identify spam calls. Carriers added spam detection. But none of it really worked. Scammers just spoofed new numbers. They'd call from a different number every time. Blocking them was useless. The apps helped a little. Truecaller, Hiya, RoboKiller, they'd flag suspicious calls. But they weren't perfect. Sometimes they flagged legitimate calls. Sometimes they missed obvious spam. You became the final filter, and your filter was simple. If I don't recognize it, I'm not answering. Voicemail became pointless too. Legitimate callers stopped leaving voicemails because they knew you wouldn't listen. Scammers left robotic voicemails that wasted your time. So now, your voicemail is just a graveyard of, "This is an important message about your vehicle's warranty," and heavy breathing before they hang up. You stop checking voicemail entirely. If it's important, they'll text. And that's the other thing. Texting replaced phone calls for everything that matters. Your friends text, your family texts, your doctor's office texts appointment reminders. Your employer uses Slack or email. Even your grandma figured out texting eventually. The only people who still call are scammers and occasionally your parents. Phone calls became weirdly formal. If someone you know actually calls you, your first thought is panic. Oh no, something's wrong. Someone died. There's an emergency. Calling someone without texting first is now considered rude, aggressive even. Why didn't you just text me what you wanted? The phone call became the nuclear option of communication. Businesses made it worse too. They outsourced their customer service calls to call centers in other countries. The connection is bad. The accent is thick. They're reading from a script. It's frustrating for everyone. So legitimate businesses calling you became indistinguishable from scam calls. Same cadence, same delay when you answer, same robotic quality. You stopped trusting any of it. The scams got more sophisticated too. They started spoofing government numbers, the IRS, Social Security Administration, your local police department. They'd call claiming you owe taxes and there's a warrant for your arrest, unless you pay immediately with gift cards. Obvious scam to you and me, but they scared a lot of people, especially elderly people who grew up trusting authority. The elderly became prime targets because they still answered their phones. They're from the generation that believes ignoring a ringing phone is rude, so they pick up and the scammers would prey on them. Your parents or grandparents probably got scammed or almost got scammed. Everyone knows someone who fell for it. So now you tell them, don't answer numbers you don't know. Even if it says it's from the government, even if it's local, just don't answer. We've collectively taught an entire generation to distrust their phones, and the legitimate businesses that need to reach you, they're screwed too. Your doctor's office calls to confirm your appointment. Unknown number. You don't answer. You miss your appointment, they charge you a no-show fee. A job recruiter calls about an opportunity. Unknown number. You don't answer. You miss the opportunity. They move on to the next candidate. Your kid's school calls because they're sick. Unknown number. You don't answer. Your kid sits in the nurse's office for an hour. We've broken the phone as a communication device because scammers ruined it. Carriers tried to help. They added scam likely labels. They implemented stir-shaken protocol to verify calls. It helped a tiny bit. But scammers adapted. They always adapt. It's an arms race, and they're winning, because they have unlimited numbers to call from and zero consequences. The FCC occasionally cracks down. They shut down a call center. They fine someone. It doesn't matter. There are 1,000 more call centers in countries that don't care about US telecom laws. The government can't fix it. The carriers can't fix it. So you fixed it yourself by never answering your phone. And here's the really dystopian part. This is now considered normal. A 25-year-old today has never lived in a world where answering your phone was default behavior. They think it's always been like this. The idea of just picking up when it rings seems quaint, old-fashioned, something their parents do. We've accepted that our phones, the devices we pay hundreds of dollars for and carry everywhere, are basically unusable for receiving calls from anyone we don't already know. That's insane when you say it out loud. The phone call is dying. Voice communication is being replaced by text, email, Slack, Discord, DMs, whatever. Anything but actually talking. And maybe that's fine for casual communication, but there are times when a phone call is necessary. Medical emergencies, job offers, important updates, and we've made it impossible to reach anyone. So how did we get here? Cheap VoIP technology let scammers call millions of people for pennies. Number spoofing made blocking useless. The Do Not Call registry filtered out legal calls, but not illegal ones. Smartphones gave us caller ID, but scammers adapted. The volume became overwhelming. Texting replaced calling for everything legitimate, and we collectively decided that ignoring unknown calls was the only solution because nothing else worked.